and she wanted $100. She told her parents she'd do good things with it. And so her parents always said, ask God for things and God will provide. So she wrote a letter, Dear God, please send me $100. I'll do good things with it. Well, the postmaster didn't know what to do with it. So the postmaster sent it to the president. The president said, oh, isn't that cute? Send the little girl $5. She'll think that's a lot of money. So she gets the money. She's kind of underwhelmed. But her parents said, always write a thank you. So she did. Dear God, thanks for the money, but next time don't send it through Washington. They stole 95%. I could probably just stop there and tell you that the moral of the story is don't send your money to Washington because they're inefficient, ineffective, and what things they try to do right, they don't do very well, but they try to do too much, they get us in debt further and further and further. We're going to have about a $20 trillion debt when President Obama finishes. He started out with a $10 trillion debt. We're going to double it. You say, well, then it must be the Democrats' fault, right? Well, when George W. Bush took office, it was $5 trillion, and it doubled to $10 trillion. So it must be the Republicans' fault, right? Well, yeah, you would both be right. The problem is both parties are spending us into oblivion. This is the uniqueness to my candidacy, is that I'm willing to be very ecumenical with the blame. They both deserve blame, and it's going to go on and on unless you finally choose someone who's going to do something different. And you might say, well, who cares? It's just numbers on a sheet. What's $1 trillion? Well, if you want to imagine $1 trillion, if you put $1,000 bills in your hand, 4 inches high, you'd have about $1 million. But if you wanted to have $1 trillion in $1,000 bills, it'd be 63 miles high. People say, well, what does it mean? What's it doing to the economy? What's the big deal? Well, some say that the economy now, because of the burden of debt, is costing us about 1 million jobs a year. We pay a couple $100 billion in interest on the debt. In the next few years, we're estimating it's going to be going up to about $800 billion to become the largest item in the budget will be interest on the debt. Is that a problem? Yeah, because it's dislocating resources. You're taking money that would go to productive resources like buying insurance, of course, and you're transferring it off to something that is decided by people who are oftentimes big contributors, the cronies of government. Who are they? Both parties have them. You know, we had one crony who's a billionaire who got a $500 million loan to build solar panels, Solyndra. He lost it all. Whoops. The problem is that he was picked because he was a big donor. And so we pass out money often to people who are big donors. Both parties it happens. But